An equation is in a relationship where the quantities are equal. An inequality is when two quantities are relative to each other. Here are the symbols you might be familiar with. You've got less than, greater than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to. I've got some stuff over there on the cabinet by, is it Bryson? Is that right? Okay. On the cabinet over here, there's some symbols as well. It doesn't have the names for them, but it does have like what kind of circle you would use. So just know there's some stuff up in my classroom as well that you can use as a reference. When you have, we'll be graphing inequalities today, so when you have less than or greater than, you would use an open circle, like so. And then, or equal to, you use a closed circle. So that's like the one thing I need you to know today. Oh, that says close. It should say open, right? Oof, okay. Open, closed, because that or equal to means it includes that number. So when we do some graphing, that's what we're using. All right, this one. It's a two-step equation. If you look at the poster over there, you always should add or subtract before you multiply or divide. So the 3 has to go first. Haley, how do I move the 3? Thank you. It's being subtracted. Do the opposite and add it. So 2x is equal to 10. Okay, now we multiply or divide. So JJ, how do I give her the 2? Divide by 2, and then your answer is, I put an equal sign. Okay, that's a force of habit. I'm sorry. I'm going to leave it as an inequality sign. Greater than 5. So try to avoid that. We are graphing inequalities today. You'll see it says, sketch the solution on a number line. It doesn't have to be beautiful, but it should be accurate, all right? So you're going to make a little number line here for me. And you do have a number line up here on the wall to help you, so don't feel like you have to memorize this. But your number you're using is 5, and so I typically like you to pick 2 numbers surrounding it. So use 4, 5, 6 is good enough. Okay, it's greater than, so open or closed. What do y'all think? Look back at the top of your paper if you're not sure. It's open. And so you do an open circle, and it's greater than. Look at the numbers on your number line. Which way do the numbers get greater? Can you point with your arm or your finger? Which way should we put the arrow? To the right. Yes, the numbers get greater this way. Okay, this one's a little bit more complicated, so we'll go through all the steps here. Do I have distribution, guys? No. Do I have like terms? Kind of, but actually no, because they're on different sides. So it's tricky. So now we're going to go to M, which is move our variables to one side. Do I have variables on both sides right now? Yes. So we need to fix this. Usually you'll see me move from right to left, but it doesn't matter, right? So I need to move I'm going to move the 6n. So Victoria, how do I move the 6n over?
Subtract 6n from 8n.
Like so. So now we'll make a new equation. It should say 8n minus 2n, or 6n is 2n. And you're still using that sign less than or equal to. Now it's a two-step equation. So Elliot, what next? 2n is less than or equal to negative 11. All right, and last thing. Bennett, what's the last thing? Okay, if you want to use a calculator to see what this is, you can. We were talking a lot about how I prefer you to leave it as negative 11 halves, right? But you're about to graph this on a number line, and sometimes when you're graphing fractions on a number line, that can be a little bit confusing, and so if you need to use a decimal to help you graph it, that's fine. So what is negative 11 halves as a decimal? 5.5. Okay, so when you go to graph this on your little number line here, again, you can use this to help you. Did you have to go to the front? You make your number line. Obviously, 5.5, negative 5.5 is going to be between negative 6 and negative 5. So you could do negative 6, negative 5, and then your negative 5.5 or negative 11 halves would go in the middle, which is why it's helpful to use decimals so you maybe have a better idea of where it's going to be. Okay, it's less than or equal to. Now I should point this out. Your answer was a negative, but did we multiply or divide by a negative? We divided by positive 2. So that's why I did not flip the sign. Just because your answer is a negative does not mean that you flip the sign. It's less than or equal to, so that means that you have a closed circle. And it's less than, so please point which direction we should go. Which way do the numbers get less? Left. Okay, less is to the left. Here's my little trick that I usually teach. If you have your variable on the left already, then you should be able to draw like an arrow if this is confusing for you. So look at the board. I can make this little sign into an arrow, and it tells you which way to go. Huh. Okay, if your variable's on the left. So it's kind of nice. Please talk at your table. What's the first thing that you should do? The first thing you should do is what? Let's see. Cadence, do you know what to do first?
Move all variables to one side, so subtract 3D.
And we're subtracting because it's positive. So it'll be negative 5D. All right. Ben, Martin, now what?
Add 2.
Okay, and this is one where we get a little bit confused, but think carefully about what operation that actually is. Aiden, now what? Yeah, that is multiplication, so you will divide. All right, here's the moment you've been waiting for. Your whole life. You divided by negative 5 on both sides. So what should you do with your sign? You flip it. So it flips the other way. So I'll make a note here. You flip the sign because of you are dividing by a negative 5 here. That's the reason for that. Yeah, Caitlin?
What if we did...
So now we're going to graph this. If you're stuck, then please use the number line on the wall to help you figure out what numbers surround it. And whenever you're dealing with negatives, the more negative number goes on the left-hand side. So it should be negative 3, negative 2, negative 1. Use a number line to help you if you need. Open or closed? Circle. Open. And it is, D is greater than negative 2. So I should go to the right because the numbers get greater this way. Do you notice anything interesting happening? Okay. Do you see how they're the same, I hope? I know it's early. But hopefully you see 8x minus 6, 8x minus 6. Please do not stop here and be like, I give up. No, you can keep going. We saw some like this yesterday on that part of your assignment from 1.1 that was like justify solutions. This is that thing, okay? So you have variables on both sides. We don't like that. You got to get your variables to one side. So you got to move the 8x, right? Okay, how do I move it? Subtract. So we'll just carry on as usual, even if it looks a little bit weird. It's going to be all right, folks. So negative 6 is less than or equal to negative 6. And it's not an equal sign, so you have to think about this a little bit differently, and you're checking to see if this is true. Is negative 6 less than negative 6? It's not, but remember this stands for less than or equal to. And so is negative 6 equal to negative 6?
Yes.
Yes, and so while it's not less than, it is equal, and so yes, it is true because it's got that or equal to, but I don't say true. If it is true, do you remember what word that you use? Or what words? You see it up there? Infinite solutions. And so you don't get full credit until you actually tell me this part. That would be your final answer, infinite solutions. And then we are going to graph this. It'll be fun. So you make a number line, and it really doesn't matter actually what numbers you put on it. I'm just going to do, and actually I don't think I really need to do anything. Because it's infinite solutions, that means that any number works. And so if you want to put some numbers on here, you could do 0, 1, -1, but really what you're saying is that anything, any direction would work. All of the numbers on the number line ever to infinity and beyond work. So you highlight the whole thing. This is an and inequality, and so if you want to write that down above this is an and. Not that it super matters, but it's an and inequality because m has a relationship to two numbers at the same time. Okay, we're going to solve this by putting two balancing lines because you're going to put one through each inequality. Just like equations, you do whatever you do to one side, you do to the other. Whatever you do to the middle, you do to both sides. And so you're trying to get the variable by itself. This is the thing that you're solving for here. Everything else that's around it, the 4, has to move. And so we're trying to get the m by itself. So we see plus 4. If I see plus 4, Kendrick, how do I undo the plus 4? Yeah, and so I will subtract the 4 in the middle, but then what I do to one side, I must do to all 3. And so it has to go over here and over here. Everything subtracts 4. And now you will rewrite your inequality. 5 minus 4 would give me 1. M is now by itself. And then 10 minus 4 is 6. Please make sure that you're keeping the signs the same. You'll notice that they are different from each other. So keep them the same as you go down, I mean. Okay, now we're going to graph this. You are graphing an inequality between 1 and 6. As long as I see those two numbers, I'll probably be happy. Yeah, this is probably good enough. 1, 6. If you want to put some numbers in between, you can. I guess you could do 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And it's going to have two circles. Again, this is the part you may have done in Algebra 1. You have to graph it. And so at 1, do I have an open or closed circle at 1? Closed. And at 6, look at this sign now. It's open. Okay, because what this is saying is that m is in between 1 and 6. And so you will actually connect it between it. Ooh. Saying m is greater than or equal to 1 and less than 6 at the same time. And this is an and because it is a combination. We are going to draw balancing lines on both. And if this bothers you, like if these are too close together, you could even spread it out a little bit. Like if you want to rewrite them to see them more separately. Let's see, you could do, I'm not going to, but you could split them up even more if you want. Okay, you have two equations or two inequalities. It's different because it has this or in the middle, and so you will solve them separately. We will do one at a time. I'm trying to find this. There we go. Okay, 4. Let's do the one on the left first. I see plus 3, so I should subtract. And that would get me 4c is less than or equal to -8. Check your negatives there. -5, down 3 more. All right, and Dylan, now what?
Wait for which one?
Sorry, 4c less than or equal to -8, the one on the left.
Oh, I have that.
So I get c is less than or equal to -2. My answer is negative, but I did not divide by a negative, so I'm good. That's one of your answers. Now, can you guys please, with your people at your table, can you please solve the one on the right-hand side? -8 should go on the right. It's a bigger number. Open or close at -2, folks? Close. Okay, it's less than -2. So it goes whoop, left. It's greater than 8. Open or closed at 8? Open. It's greater than 8, so that should go that way. When it's an or inequality, you will notice that it's split apart like this, and they should not be touching. Because you divided by -2, -4 divided by -2 is positive. That's the first thing. And because you divide by negative, it flips the sign the other way. So that when you graph it, now they should actually be split apart. If you did not flip the sign, they wouldn't be. So as long as I see these two numbers, that's good enough for me. You should have an open circle at -4. It says P is less than -4, and a closed circle at 2. So number 7 was or, because they're split apart like this. Last one is and. You're going to draw those two balancing lines, if that helps you, which I would say for most of us it probably will, so that you, whatever you do to the middle, you also do to the outsides. Okay, and this is kind of like our warm-up. You have 4, but what number is in front of x right now? 1. And so please make sure you move the 4 first, and then you will divide the -1. All right, the +4, guys, how do I take it away? Subtract. We just did this. So subtract 4 to all 3 sides. I would have -7 is less than or equal to -1x is less than or equal to 1. And now you're dividing all the sides by -1. This one is awesome because you are dividing by a -1. You do have to flip both sides. So you have x alone in the middle now, but you have to flip both of them. So this one is -1, and that guy over there is +7, which is kind of confusing. And we want to make sure when we write compound inequalities, we always have them facing this way to the right. So you would actually need to rewrite this for me and flip the numbers. So if you flip the numbers around and flip the signs, we can rewrite this as smaller number on the left, bigger number on the right, and then these signs always face that way. Otherwise, it's confusing, and that's just not how we do it. When you go to graph it, you should have 2 closed circles. One at -1 and one at +7. And it's going to look like a little barbell.